Have you ever wondered what people used to think about the orgasm? Today, we see it as a natural and wonderful part of human experience. But the history of how we understood this feeling is a wild ride, filled with some truly strange ideas. Let's travel back in time to explore the scientific history of the orgasm and what we used to believe. It's a story full of twists and turns. For a long time, the orgasm was a complete mystery, especially the female orgasm. The ancient Greeks, for example, had some interesting theories. The famous physician Hippocrates believed that both men and women needed to release a type of seed to conceive a child. He thought the female orgasm was essential for this to happen. This idea actually stuck around for centuries. It suggested that a woman's pleasure was directly linked to making a baby, which we now know isn't the case. Then we enter the Middle Ages and the Victorian era, a time when things got even more confusing. Discussions about pleasure became very quiet, almost taboo. Doctors started to see female pleasure not as a natural function, but as a sign of a problem. A new illness appeared in medical books, female hysteria. The symptoms were incredibly broad and could include anything from nervousness and irritability to a feeling of heaviness in the abdomen. Basically, a lot of normal human emotions and feelings were labeled as a medical condition. The proposed treatment for this so-called hysteria is one of the most surprising facts in this story. Doctors would perform a pelvic massage to induce what they called a paroxysm. Yes, you heard that right. The treatment for hysteria was to bring the patient to orgasm. This was seen as a clinical medical procedure, completely separate from any idea of pleasure or intimacy. Doctors found this treatment very time-consuming. Can you imagine? The number of patients was high, and the process was tiring for the doctor's hands. This led to a surprising invention in the late 19th century. A British physician named Joseph Mortimer Granville invented the first electromechanical vibrator. It was a bulky, heavy device, but it was designed to make the treatment for hysteria faster and more efficient for doctors. It was never intended for personal use and was sold as a medical tool. This is a strange chapter in history, where a normal bodily function was misunderstood as a symptom of an illness, and its cure was the very experience itself, just framed in a medical context. As we moved into the 20th century, a huge shift in thinking began, thanks to pioneering researchers. One of the most famous names in this field is Alfred Kinsey. In the 1940s and 50s, Kinsey and his team conducted massive surveys about human sexuality. They interviewed thousands of people about their personal experiences. His work, published in what are known as the Kinsey Reports, was groundbreaking. It showed that the female orgasm was a lot more common and varied than society believed. Kinsey's research challenged the idea that there was only one right way for a woman to experience an orgasm. He brought the topic out of the shadows and into the light of scientific study. Then, in the 1960s, another research duo, William Masters and Virginia Johnson, took things a step further. They did something nobody had done before. They observed human sexual response in a laboratory setting. They measured heart rate, breathing, and muscle contractions. They wanted to understand the actual physiological process of what happens in the body during arousal and orgasm. Masters and Johnson identified the 4 stages of the sexual response cycle: excitement, plateau, orgasm, and resolution. Their work completely changed our understanding. They proved scientifically that the physical response of an orgasm is the same for women, regardless of how it is achieved. This debunked many old myths. So, we've gone from believing orgasms were just for making babies, to thinking they were a symptom of a disease, to finally understanding them as a natural and healthy part of human physiology. The journey has been long and strange. It shows how science and society can sometimes get things very wrong before they get them right. Today, we know so much more. We understand that the orgasm is a complex interplay of psychology and physiology, a powerful experience for pleasure, connection, and well-being. It's a reminder that what we accept as common knowledge today was once a deep mystery, or even a misunderstood problem. If you found this journey through the history of the orgasm interesting, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more content from Sex Education Repo.